If you're a reader, an avid reader like I am, you've probably read a lot of good gun books out there by some reputable authors. And there's a color code that is throughout our industry talked about, or it says your state of awareness can be associated with a certain color, and that can dictate, that'll help you remind you of what state of awareness that you're in. So in essence, a state of awareness, color white, would mean that you have no fear of anything bad happening to you at all, period, not at all. And I associate that to be like when I'm taking a shower. I'm not really worried about some dude jumping in the shower and murdering me. That'd be like the classic example of white. Then you have yellow, and yellow is, yeah, something might, but it's highly probable it's not going to happen. So, you know, I may be thinking about it occasionally, but I'm really not going to do anything about it. And I really haven't prepared myself to react to anything. But, you know, kind of like a lot of people will go around to Walmart, you know, they're playing bumper buggies with everybody in the aisle, and they're just trying to get to the Fruit Loops faster than the other lady with nine children, and, you know, and they're not really worried about it a whole lot. But, you know, they know that, you know, something could happen, but they're not going to do anything about it. And then you have orange, which says, yeah, something could happen, and, you know, I'm looking, and I'm aware of my surroundings, and, you know, I've made a mental note of, you know, should something happen, I'm prepared reasonably to take care of it. And then we jump straight to red, which is, oh crap, that dude is coming fast at me, or he's following me, or someone's approaching me and they're yelling at me. Something that's gotten your attention, and it's probably raised your heartbeat up significantly, and you may have had a little surge of adrenaline going on with that. And then there's another color code that I call black, imminent death. Like that dude has a gun to your head right now. The reason I'm telling you about this is so that you can see where you are in your everyday travels. Are you in white? Are you in orange? Man, I hope that you don't find yourself going from white to red, or even white to black. And that's what we do see a lot, is people who say, oh, it'll never happen to me, until it happens to you. See, here's the thing about statistics. You know, you'll see the news talk about statistics all the time. Well, you know, only 40% of this and 15% of that. You know, to the dude that it's happening to, it's 100%. So statistics only matter to the people that are not involved in the incident. So if you find yourself in your everyday travels in a condition of white, or nothing's ever going to happen to you, you know, we call that in our industry sheep, okay, or sheeple, because you're waiting to be led by some shepherd to tell you what to do, and you're not thinking for yourself. But now, what I would tell you is, you need to be in a state, if we were talking about color codes, of orange, where you're going about your daily life, but your mind is aware of different situations that you could get in, where you are, where the exits are, where your children are, what avenues of escape that you have, and what ways you have to defend yourself. And if you integrate that into your lifestyle, then it is not such a burden on you to figure that stuff out. You start to figure it out incrementally, and then you weave it into your everyday life. So when you train, you know, hopefully your instructors are showing you how to manipulate the gun, use the gun, and use your body effectively to engage that threat. But your mind, when you're not on the range, needs to be, how would I employ my gun? Play these mental gymnastics with yourself. What type of angle would I have? If a guy runs down the aisle at Walmart and he pulls a gun on me, I probably could not stand and shoot him dead on, because there's probably someone getting a package of ham out of the meat counter right behind him. So I'd have to drop to a knee and make sure that the angle of that bullet, the trajectory of the bullet, is going to go up. Or I may want to jump to a side so that when the bullet goes through him, it goes into the aisle, the bag of Doritos or something, and into that metal shelf that it's sitting on. At least give me some form of backstop. But to think that I could carry a gun, not train on it, and then react optimally is a farce. It's not going to happen. We've seen that time and time again in the military with overseas conflicts. You know, guys will train what we call a square range, and then they'll go to a shoot house and they'll do some live fire shoots, and they'll only do the entry with no furniture in there. They'll do it with no person in there unarmed that they end up having to get into hand-to-hand with. Okay, so when they meet that resistance, say, you know, like when we were going door to door in Iraq, you kick open that door, and there's, you know, 2 dudes in there. They got their hands up. I really can't shoot them, but what if they run right at me? Okay, now I need to lower the weapon and handle them hand to hand. Okay, well, maybe it's not so dramatic in a wartime situation because we're, you know, as in a wartime situation because we're not in a quote unquote wartime situation here, but you have that same duty to meet with equal force